Welcome to Logicarb. We are very excited for your interest in our technology. In this video, you will understand how your body absorbs and processes sugars and carbohydrates and the difference between a low and a high glycemic index carbohydrate. When you eat sugars and carbohydrates, your body has to convert them into glucose, which is the simplest form of sugar. There are other simpler sugars like lactose, sucrose, and fructose, but they all have to be broken down by your body into glucose before they can be fed to your body cells. Common carbohydrates such as cooked potatoes, white bread, white rice, and white sugar are very easy to break down into glucose. As a matter of fact, as soon as you put them in your mouth, your saliva will start breaking down the molecules into glucose, and further down your digestive tract, strong enzymes will continue to break them up, so by the time they leave your stomach, most of them will be absorbed into your bloodstream. Complex carbohydrates such as nuts and seeds, for example flaxseed, have been designed by nature so we cannot digest them easily. Actually, they're not supposed to be digested but just transported by the eater. Through many millenniums, humanoids and humans have been feeding with different kinds of grass seeds and have developed a very sophisticated digestive system that is able to process such foods and extract energy in the form of glucose to feed the body. That very complicated and sophisticated process, of which we are still learning, is able to break down molecules with up to thousands of glucoses linked together like necklaces into simple glucose that is slowly released for our cells to absorb. The low glycemic lifestyle is no more than going back to basics and trying to eat what we used to eat up until only a few centuries ago, before we mastered technologies that would allow us to both prepare and genetically modify foods into readily available glucose. Remember that we all love sweet. Our first food, breast milk, is very sweet with about 7% sugars, and most of the carbohydrates we consume today, such as white bread, potatoes, pastries, pasta, and white rice, are very high glycemic index. What our proprietary Logicarb technology does is present you with foods that look and taste just like regular bread, pasta, rice, or potatoes, but with ultra-low glycemic indexes, allowing you to have a low glycemic diet without having to sacrifice all your favorite carbs. Okay, now that we understand the basics, we need to understand what it is that the body does with the glucose available in your blood after eating. It is very important that you understand that even though the effects of glucose on the body of a normal person and a diabetic patient are different because of the inability to absorb glucose at a cellular level, either because of insulin deficiency or type 1 diabetes, or insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes, in very simple terms, the way your body uses or stores the energy is exactly the same. When you eat carbs, an enzyme in your saliva and stomach called amylase will break it up into glucose that is transported through your bloodstream to feed all the cells in your body by means of a mechanism that involves a hormone called insulin. In layman terms, what insulin does is open the door of cellular membranes so your cells can absorb glucose, which is the source of energy. After your cells have been fed, if there's any remaining glucose in the blood, it will go to your liver to be converted into an emergency energy source called glycogen that is stored in your liver and in your lung muscles in order to have very short-term energy reserve, basically to be able to react to a threat such as running away from a predator. The rest of the glucose, if there are any leftovers, will be converted into different kinds of fat, but especially triglycerides, which accumulate in your body initially around your waistline, but later everywhere else in your body, including your blood vessels, producing heart disease. Large amounts of high glycemic carbs trigger large amounts of insulin in your body that blocks your ability to burn fat and increases your blood pressure. To summarize, when you eat carbohydrates, the first thing your digestion does is feed your cells. Once they are fed, you accumulate an emergency reserve of glycogen that will allow you to get instant energy, and finally, if there's any blood sugar left over, the mighty liver will convert it into fats for long-term energy savings, which, in a modern world where every meal is guaranteed, means accumulation of fat that will never be burned, producing obesity. The key difference between high and low glycemic carbohydrates is the rate at which they are converted into glucose and absorbed. When you eat a high glycemic index carb, you will convert and absorb about 90% within the first 2 hours. By the time it reaches your long intestine, only a fraction of the energy content is left. On the other hand, When you eat low glycemic carbs, only 30% is converted and absorbed after 2 hours, just enough to nourish your cells. The rest will enter your long intestines, where an incredibly sophisticated symbiosis of billions of bacteria slowly digests the remaining 70%, releasing it very slowly into your body, allowing you to maintain for hours and even days ideal blood sugar levels. The blood sugar tsunami your body experiences every time you eat processed high glycemic carbs will constantly put you in what we like to call the fat buildup zone, aggravated by the fact that the high insulin levels it produces locks up the fat in your body, preventing you from burning it, as well as in combination with other hormones, stimulates the reabsorption of sodium, increasing your blood pressure. Because high glycemic carbs are processed so fast, in less than 2 hours, your blood sugar levels tend to fall below a comfortable threshold between 2.5 and 3 hours after you eat, producing a hunger reflex that usually ends up in snacking. In a low glycemic lifestyle, you will never reach the fat buildup zone. After you eat, you will have enough blood sugar to feed your body the way it was meant to be fed, and afterwards, your guts will maintain ideal blood sugar levels throughout the day, preventing not only blood sugar spikes, but also reducing insulin levels, unlocking the fats to be burnt through energy consumption, ideally through exercise. The low glycemic index lifestyle will help you stabilize your body function, reduce cravings and appetite, help you in your quest to lose weight, and improve your health. You can find our deliciously healthy bread in the Chicago area. For more information, visit us at Logicarb.com. If this video was useful, feel free to share it. Join us on Facebook and Twitter for more exciting information about well-being, nutrition, and how to prevent or reverse diabetes. Thank you.